NYPA. It's time to start the show, so search for the squad and listen out for the promo with the West Wild Splitter spin his weather to a chokehold. Make it unfold, 5 o'clock. Who gives a damn of what your man to say? We spittin' live wireless, leave you shot with the gamma ray. Ain't no runner-up, cause it ain't the closest to candidate. Our blocks is deep and you draw like Japanese anime. It's just us and the rest, news off the hottest press. Kyle Holt and Philly West, reppin' with the legends, classic interview session, politics, sports segment, live phone, call up with question, it's the NYPA, 95 connection, real people, ain't no scripted cue card for direction, just team on the grind, time till it's all perfection, throw it past the satellite so you can catch reception, so touch ground with us, we kill challenges, and murder it for every number on your calendars, from west to the boogie down the Greyhound in this, we Google Spot, Anchor Podcast, pocket this.
Welcome everyone to another episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio. The final season of Countdown is on. Thank you for joining me today. And remember to press the subscribe button for YouTube and Spotify for the final episodes of NYPA Entertainment Radio as I lead into the new show, Who is Kyle Graham, coming in 2026. Now, that being said, I said last week that I had an announcement to let you know when the last show will be of NYPA Entertainment Radio and when the first show will be of Who is Kyle Graham. So here it is. Drum roll, please. I love that. Originally, I was going to do the final show December 28th, but I extended it. The final show will be January 1st, 2026. That's the final episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio. New Year's Day, January 1st, 2026. I closed the book on NYPA Entertainment Radio for good. Now, drum roll, please, for the new show. Who is Kyle Graham? Hopefully that came through and the audio was working right because I'll be sitting in silence for 3 seconds. It'll feel weird. But anyway, one more time. Drum roll, please. Spring of 2026. Who is Kyle Graham? So that'll be spring of 2026. So it'll be late March, early April. I don't have a precise date, but look for it then. Late March, early April. Spring of 2026, Who is Kyle Graham will be on YouTube, on Riverside, Spotify, and other platforms also, with a few tricks up my sleeves. It may look and maybe feel like NYPA Entertainment Radio, but it'll be different in its own way. Who is Kyle Graham? So let's just say I'll make sure it's going to be different and a fun adventure for everyone to enjoy. Like I said, I'm starting all over again from the ground up with Who is Kyle Graham. So I'm in the process of doing that. And so far, so good. Everything is running well. So like I said, final show of NYPA Entertainment Radio, New Year's Day, 2026. And the new show, the series premiere of Who is Kyle Graham in spring of 2026. As I get closer to that date, I will start posting it on social media, which I will be changing social media around. It won't be under NYPA ENT Instagram or on Spotify or whatever. It'll be Who is Kyle Graham, the email address, the whole nine. The logo is going to change everything. Like I'm closing the book. That's just what it is. Somewhere down the line, you may see someone try to pop up with the same name. It's not me. It's someone else trying to be my show, being that show. But the show is always in the archives. If you ever want to listen to it on YouTube or Spotify, if it's still there. Some of them they probably took down because of the music content. But hey, get at me. I'll shoot you some episodes. I own the shows. I got all the shows anyway, all original episodes from way back. So like I said, closing the book on NYPA Entertainment Radio, January 1st, 2026, opening a new book for Who is Kyle Graham, spring of 2026. Looking forward to it. Very excited to start a new journey. Like I said, same feel, same look, with a little bit of different taste to it. A little something. Not going to reveal too much or say too much, but you have to see what it is for yourself. It's going to be a crazy journey. Um, the plans and ideas I have for the new podcast of Who is Kyle Graham, spring of 2026. Looking forward to that. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody know about the final 2 episodes. Not just episode, but 2 more. Got 2 more episodes. Like I said, I was going to end it on the 28th. I'm not. So 2 more episodes, let everybody know, because it kind of segues into Who is Kyle Graham and setting everything up. So just a bit of a transition gap right there. Give me time to finish up and make sure everything is lined up the way I want it to be. So looking forward to it. Now, without further ado, let's start the show. A lot of things to get into here during this holiday season. I want to say this first. I'll be remiss not to mention this. Last Sunday, we lost one of the great directors and his wife, Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner, due senseless killing allegedly by one of his sons, Nick Reiner. Rob Reiner, not familiar with, from All in the Family. He directed movies like A Few Good Men, Misery, Stand By Me. This is Spinal Tap, and a recent one, Spinal Tap movie that came out. Been in countless different movies. One of my favorite movies he's been in is Wolf of Wall Street. Go check it out. Great advocate for civil rights. Terrible loss. I feel for his family, friends, and fans alike. But as always, his work lives on. Still out there. It's senseless. It's a shame. Not going to get into it. But it's heartbreaking. And I just found out yesterday, one of the actors, James Radone, who plays Ziggy Sabakis in The Wire and countless other shows like Treme and other movies, Inside Man and so forth, passed away due to suicide. And, man, it's mental health is a serious thing. And look, man, there's help out there for everyone. You never know what's going on. Check on your peoples, talk to them, encourage them. You see something off, stay on them. Just make sure and show them that they're loved and cared for, that you have an open door, like, hey, talk to me, or whatever case may be, or you need to talk to someone. And do that, man. There's a lot going on, and it takes its toll on everyone. But you are loved, and there's help out there for everyone, and there's friends and so forth, and to get through that. And I'm saddened to that, but like Rob Reiner, James' work lives on forever. It's just so sad to hear that happening. So I hate to start on a somber note, but I wanted to put that out there. Condolences to his family and friends and so forth, and just to pass that message on, man. You're going through something, there's a lot of help out there and people to talk to and to, just to encourage you to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always say at the end of the show, take it day by day. Believe in whatever higher power you believe in. It's difficult. I know it's easier said than done. And just take it each day, one day at a time. And then, you just pull through. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that before I jump into the topics or whatever. So let's get going. I have a lot of interesting things here. I'm going to start with Snoop Dogg. What the fuck? Snoop Dogg to make NBA game analyst debut during Warriors and Clippers match. Quote, it's a dream come true for Shizzle. Nah, I had the for Shizzle part in there. Snoop Dogg first time calling some hoops action is set to take place in January. Snoop Dogg is completing another side mission. The rapper will be moving his courtside view a few seats over when he'll make his NBA game analyst debut on NBCSN and Peacock NBA Monday, January 5th. Snoop broadcast debut will take place at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles when the Clippers battle Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. The West Coast rap legend is slated to bring his unique flair and hoops knowledge to call the second half of the game alongside Terry Gannon and Reggie Miller. Quote, "This is a dream come true for me," Snoop Dogg said in a statement. "I'm fired up to be joining Reggie Miller and Terry Gannon on the call for the Clipper Warriors game on January 5th. I can't wait to bring a fresh vibe to the analysts while celebrating the skills and strategy these teams bring every night." Snoop Dogg is going all out with his preparation, and he'll be fully immersed in the entire broadcast experience. He will be attending team shoot-arounds and breaking down film and production meetings ahead of hooping hopping on the mic on January 5th, which is right around the corner. Quote, "We are excited to have Snoop bring his unique energy and passion to our NBA coverage," said Sam Flood, who served as executive producer at NBC Sports. "It will be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to watch Snoop, Reggie, and Terry talk hoops with a side order of fun." Shortly after covering Warriors and Clippers, Snoop Dogg will be taking his talents to Italy, where he'll be reprising his role as special correspondent at the 2026 Winter Olympics. Snoop's Greatest Hits segment will return to NBC's Olympic coverage as Americans will keep up with the Dog Father's travels across Milan landmarks while checking in with the best athletes and the U.S. has to offer. Early in December, Snoop and Team USA announced that the 54-year-old entertainer was selected to be the first ever honorary coach for Team USA at the 2026 Milan Cortina Olympic Winter Games. Check out Snoop Dogg's call of the Warrior Clippers on NBC, SN, and Peacock on January 5th at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll be asleep because I got to work the next day. I love seeing Snoop do different things, different streams of revenue, and just having be out of the box and just showing that he's more than a hip hop artist. You know what I mean? I think it should be a lot of fun because Snoop is funny in his own way. He just hopefully you don't say the N word too much and just N word grabs to this one and this N word shoot for three. Oh, N word. But it should be cool. I'll catch the highlights of it. Like it's 10 p.m. on a Monday. I gotta work the next day on a Tuesday. So I'm sure there'll be clips and things of that nature for him commentating. But Snoop has that personality. You see him on The Voice. You see him in commercials and other things. He's charming, engaging, and the whole nine. And I love that. Again, what he's doing for Winter Olympics and the whole nine, he's out of his box, out of his comfort zone, and doing different things. And again, not just about just having different streams of revenue, but it's just showing how multifaceted and talented that he is, and just doing what he do. And that's dope, man. Snoop is that dude. At the end of the day, Snoop Dogg is that dude. He is that cat that can do it all, multifaceted, and I'm looking forward to hearing the clips from him broadcasting, and he's taking it serious. Like I said, he's checking out film and probably just doing some training because it's not easy to be a commentary on a live game, especially if you know what you're talking about. It takes a lot of training and you know what I mean, and skill to do that, to have the stats in your head. Know what you're talking. You're live on television. You got to keep up with the pace of the game, whether it's football, baseball, whatever. You got to know what you're talking about. You got to know when there's dead moments, what to say and stuff like that. Not nothing scripted. You got to be boom. You got to be on point. You got a producer in your ear. You have to. It's not an easy thing to do. It looks fun, and I'm sure it is, but it's a lot of training on this. So I commend the men and women that do sports commentating overall, because it's not easy to do. It's really not, because you're at time improvising when things happen unexpectedly. You got to know your stuff, the whole nine. You know what I mean? It's live to the world, and everyone's listening to you. Everyone's paying attention because you are the narrator of the game. They can't hear exactly what's going on the field, on the ice rink, on the court. You're their ears. You're their mouthpiece and the ears also, because you can hear it before they do, and you can explain quicker to the people who may be watching it but don't know exactly what's going on. You know what I mean? So I commend him for taking the training and even giving out stepping out his comfort zone for doing it. And that's dope, man. So I'm looking forward to hearing um, the commentator and the clips from it. And it should be kind of fun. Now, what I was I was going to say, and I'll tell you about it on the episode of NYP Entertainment Radio. I won't be able to because NYP Entertainment Radio will be done, and the new show coming in spring of 2026 is Who is Kyle Graham. All right, so moving on. This one I'm actually interested in. I came across this John, and it's very interesting. As Nicki Minaj joins ERIKA KIRK for Turning Point Q&A, reaffirming anti-trans, pro-Trump views, and in a faux pas praising the assassination of J.D. Vance. This is Nicki Minaj, the rapper. All right, let's see. Nicki Minaj sat for a conversation with ERIKA KIRK at the Turning Point USA conference in Phoenix Sunday morning, calling conservative activists the cool kids in the midst of extolling her growing admiration for the current administration and her disdain for the usurping of the traditional gender roles. The most unfortunately memorable moment came when the superstar rapper praised the assassination of J.D. Vance, leading to some awkward silence of KIRK's husband, Charlie, having been cut down by a sniper 3.5 months ago. ERIKA KIRK came around to acknowledging her had been a faux pas on Minaj's part, but added that it was okay because we know what was in your heart. Minaj further expressed her complete respect and admiration for the handsome, dashing President Trump, elaborated on her recent anti-trans statements, dug deeper into her antipathy of trans supportive California Governor Gavin Newsom, and suggested that white women have been the victims of reverse discrimination as the beauty of black women has been elevated. This is Nicki Minaj saying this. The assassination slip-up came when KIRK asked what advice the performer would have for young men. Quote, don't be a news scum, she began, repeating her epithet for Newsom. Young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president, and you have amazing role models like this, like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that, she then fell into uncharacteristic silence, perhaps realizing that trying to reel that back could make it worse. Picking up the ball amid the confusion about the remark, KIRK said, "Trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard. So you're fine. You have to laugh about it. Truly, I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is good, so let it roll right off your back." And this is what is so beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love Nicki. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord, and words are words, but I know her heart, and it doesn't even matter. And you say what you want to say because I know your heart, and I will not judge that. And I will not judge that, sister. Asked by Minaj about backlash she has faced for now right-leaning views, Minaj, who has devoted her recent social media to being combative on these issues, drew cheers as she claimed, "I didn't notice. We don't even think about them. We're the cool kids. The other people, they're the ones who are disgruntled, but really they're just disgruntled with themselves." Minaj made it clear that there has been a total turnaround in her political thinking from the days when she could be counted on to knock Trump along with her hip hop peers. Asked by Kirk if there is something that you want to leave as a legacy in the world of your family, for your baby, for just everything, Minaj responded, that is okay to change your mind. There's something, she continues, there's sometimes there's a lot of things projected onto you when you change your own mind. You know, they project fear, shame onto people who don't think and do as they think and do. But I've performed for huge crowds all around the world, and no matter how many songs I do on stage, it didn't mean as much as this, because this is a direct link for younger people. This is a direct link between young people and God, and there's been a lack of that in our media, in our everyday conversations. Minaj was effusive with her support for the MAGA movement and its leaders. I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win, and do it with your head held high and your integrity intact. This administration is full of people with heart and soul, and they make me proud of them. Uh, it is. Listen, this is not a political show or anything like that, and I really don't get too deep into political things, politics, and stuff like that. And I always say, look, each is on the microphone, and you can support whatever you want to support, and so forth. And I know a lot of people might turn up their nose like, how dare she, and whatever. And I get it and I understand it. This is what she wants to do. This is what she believes in, and so forth. The little mix up when she said the assassin JD Vance and so forth. To me, right there was like, yeah, sis, stay in your lane, because you're saying too much, trying to prove a point that you belong there, and you fucked up. Then ERIKA KIRK had to bail you out because you kind of sped up a little bit, and you smelling yourself and like, yeah, and you fucked up, and you sitting there looking stupid, and your eyes are blinking like, oh shit. But do I think it's gonna be backlash? I think so. Also, do I think a lot of her fans are going to turn away from her? Yes, I do. A lot of her fans are young, and there are women of color who is going to be it's going to be very off putting for them, said it correctly, with her stance and where she is now. It doesn't matter to me, but I know if now, she said for why she's not going to put on the album, or she's going to stop, or she's not going to do the album that she's intended to drop in March of next year. But if she changed her mind and she tries to, I think it's going to be difficult for her, because I'm sure a lot of her fans, a lot, not all, but a lot, are not going to rock with her. The women of color that are her fans. Um, and again, like I said, you like and love who you want. I'm not here to debate that. It is what it is. Believe what you want to believe in. If you think old boy's doing a great job, fine. If you think he's doing a bad job, fine. I have my own opinions. I keep them to myself. I don't get into no political battles, because that's not me. I keep my opinions about that. With her, am I surprised? Not much. Some will say, or I would say, you can look at it as maybe as publicity, keep her name out there, kind of like a Kanye thing. Or I would say she really do believe that. And again, to each his own on the microphone. That if she stands firm and stand 10 toes down with the administration and what's going on, and believes in what Charlie Kirk was saying and all that stuff, that's her prerogative. She has that right. Is the backlash warranted? People, everyone has their opinion. Everyone's opinion. Are you going to agree or you don't agree? You can't stop people from having an opinion and feeling some type of way. You can disagree with them and not like them no more and stop talking to them. And that's fine. Um, it is kind of odd of a woman of color to kind of support a man who was against people of color, men against people of color, not just a man, men against people of color, and just be smiling and cheesing and hi and all that stuff. It is kind of odd. I'm not gonna hold you, but hey, to each his own. Like I said, um, but just remember, Minaj, the story of the scorpion and the toad. That's all I got to say. The scorpion and the toad. Leave it at that. And for those who don't know the story about the scorpion and the toad, look it up and then connect the dots together. What I mean, because someone in the story is the toad, someone else is the scorpion or scorpions. I'm dropping hints, and if you read the story, you'll see what I mean. So I'm just saying to her, it's all good from the, it's all good. But just remember the story of the scorpion and the toad, and just leave it at that. Look it up. You don't know what I mean, and connect the dots. What I mean by the scorpion and the toads. So just be mindful of that, and I'll just leave it there. He said with a smile. All right, what else? I have Dave Chappelle reveals Netflix special. Who after the fight, my new special drops. I hope you love it. The comedian shared ahead of the Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua boxing fight. Dave Chappelle announced the surprise release of his brand new Netflix special this past Friday night. Ahead of the Jake Paul Anthony Joshua boxing fight, the comedian revealed his latest special entitled Chappelle the Unstoppable would hit the streamer following after the big fight. Quote, I wanted to shout out my hometown, Washington, D.C., and thank everybody that came out in October to support me at the show, Chappelle said. And ahead of the sporting event, I just want you to know that the show will be streaming on Netflix tonight after the fight. My new special drops. Hope you love it. Thank you very much. Chicka chicka. That's what he said. Chicka chicka. Steve Chappelle. The log line for the special reads, facing a world gone sideways, comedy icon Dave Chappelle delivers both truth and potent punchlines in his no holds barred special. This is the first time one of Chappelle's comedy specials found its home on Netflix. It released over a half a dozen specials with the streamer since 2017's The Age of Spin, Deep in the Heart of Texas, Equanimity, which earned him a Primetime Emmy, The Bird Revelation, The Closer in 2021, The Dreamer in 23, The Unstoppable ... You guys see what the whole title is. Now joins the list. Last year, Chappelle co-headlined the Still Talking That Shit tour alongside Killer Mike. At the top of the year, he hosted the first 2025 episode of Saturday Night Live, marking the fourth time leading the sketch comedy series, and recently the five-time Primetime Emmy winner performed at the Riyadh Comedy Festival in Saudi Arabia. I just checked that joint out. Finished it today, actually, before I did the show. I watched it yesterday and I finished it today. And as always, in my opinion, it was pure brilliance. A lot of N-words, but what are you going to do? But it's pure brilliance. The title, The Unstoppable, is it's not called The Unstoppable. When you watch it, it gives you the full title. That's all I'm going to say. And it's a title that they're not going to make public. You got to go to Netflix to see the full title of the special. And I'm not going to say it here. For one, because I don't say that word. And for two, I don't say that word. And for three, they're not going to put it in print, which is surprising because they always say that word. But that's neither here or there. The comedy special is pure gold. Dave Chappelle is just a fucking genius. The way his mind works, his storytelling, and so forth. One thing I got against is too many N-words. I'm not big on that, but it's still funny as hell. Dave being Dave, and I said just go check that joint out. It's it's hilarious. It's poignant, and I always say that Dave should, I think, should be doing lecture classes in universities, just on history and so forth. I mean his class would probably be like standing room only of him giving history lessons and so forth, because a lot of shit is deep, and he intertwines that in with his jokes, and he's schooling you with history, and it's funny as hell. And I'm like, my God, he'd be an awesome professor. You know what I mean? He'll be whatever university, anywhere. He'll be an awesome professor. Just him, just giving you history lessons, political science stuff like today, like it awesome. I would say go check it out, and it's real funny, man. It's like really funny, and I was surprised. I didn't know about it. I think I got maybe a Netflix alert or something like on. Now, if you full disclosure, people haven't heard, I'm doing the show on a Monday. Normally, I do it on a Sunday, so I'm doing it December 22nd. Normally, I do on Sundays, but I think I got it like maybe on the Saturday the 20th, or even yesterday on the Sunday, that early Sunday, that he had dropped a new Netflix. It came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh shit! Watched it between yesterday and today, and it's funny. Like I said, it's funny. The only thing I got against it is the N word you use consistently, but it's just still brilliant, it's still funny, it's still poignant. Makes a lot of good points about a lot of things, and edgy. It's in your face. He goes hard in the paint as always. So I said, go check it out. You're a Chappelle fan, check that joint out. That joint is not disappointing. It's very funny, and yeah, man, give 2 thumbs up. Go check that. Go check out the Unstoppable ... Just leave it at that, and then when you click on it, you see the full name. You know why I ain't saying anything. So Unstoppable ... is the whole title. I thought it was called The Unstoppable, and I didn't see the ... till later on. And then when I saw the full title, I was like, oh, that's why they didn't print it or put it somewhere, because it's a little too edgy to say. So you be the judge. You go check that joint out. All right, let's continue. Okay. The Weeknd closes catalog partnership with Lyric Capital, said to be in $1 billion range. Unique deal sets new standards for artist equity and control. The Weeknd and Lyric Capital Group has closed a deal forming a business venture together, wherein Lyric has invested in the artist's music catalog from inception through 2025. The deal sees the Weeknd real name Abel Tesfaye, and his team maintaining creative control over the catalog, remaining shareholders and owners in the company. The rep notes that the joint venture is sorry, I had to pop up. The rep notes that the joint venture is not a conventional catalog sale. From the beginning of the meeting, it was clear to all at Lyric that Abel would not be selling his catalog. He wanted to be more innovative and creative in the way we establish a partnership. To that end, through this venture, we constructed and launched a new business model with Abel and his iconic catalog whereby Abel and his team have the freedom to execute their creative vision with the entirety of his rights, both publishing and masters. This unique catalog deal sets a new standard for artist equity and control. The reps note that the joint venture is not conventional. Well, wait, I did that already. It rolled back. Scroll back up. Stupid thing. Okay, I'm about to read it again. I scrolled down and then it popped back up. I was about to reread the whole paragraph. Like y'all probably think, hey, boy, you see this runners, that boy losing his mind. The venture applies only towards the weekend's music masters and publishing through 2025 and does not include future releases. The future continues his partnership with Exo Public Universal Exo slash Public slash Universal Music Group. His publishing catalog has been and continues to be administrated by Universal Music Publishing Group. The rep added that because the deal is not a conventional catalog purchase, it is impossible to calculate a royalty multiple. Let me read that again. The rep added that because the deal is not a conventional catalog purchase, it is impossible to calculate a royalty multiple. However, uh, sources sources and reports in Billboard and Bloomberg earlier this year stated that the assets were going to it was going for at least $1 billion, based on about $55 million in net label and net publishers share, which implies that 18 implies an 18.2 times multiple. Reps for the weekend alert declined to confirm any numbers, but is accurate. It is one of the biggest deals involving a single artist catalog in history, let alone for a contemporary artist, and the only larger publicly acknowledged single artist deal was Sony Music acquisition last year of the Queen catalog, value at 1.27 billion. With more than 120 million monthly listeners on Spotify alone, The Weeknd is one of the world's most popular recording artists. His ongoing After Hours Till Dawn tour recently passed the $1 billion mark, setting a record for solo male artists. Quote, this is no ABS or scrutinization deal here, the rep continued. Lyric created a first of its kind structure with direct input from Abel and his team, which includes a first of the kind royalty back note produced by Lyric featuring Partners Group that drastically enhanced the artist friendly theme that underpins this partnership. I couldn't be more excited about the that I couldn't be more excited about what Lyric, Abel, and the team have created together, said Ross Cameron, Lyric founding slash co-managing partner. From our first meeting, it was clear to be that we were sitting around the table with individuals that were going to change the way the artist thinks about his assets, music, and legacy. The collaboration resulted in a first of its kind partnership between the artist and Lyric, and we are beyond thrilled about this new venture. It continues, Lyric strives to create artist friendly structures, and we believe this partnership demonstrates that at the highest level with the top artists in the world. I want to thank Abel and the team for putting their trust in Lyric, says Rich Garcia, Lyric co managing partner. Half of the weekend's publishing rights were already owned by Chord Music Partners, backed by Universal Music Group and Dundee Partners. Lyric Capital invests in music royalties and also owns Spirit Music Group, which controls catalogs from Tim McGraw, Jason Aldean, Ingrid Michaelson, and others. That's dope. That's dope. Smart businessman. Whoever, like, Abel got smart people around him. You know what I mean? Abel got some smart people around him, and he's smart himself and surround him with smart people and to invest his music that way, where he still have full control. It's not for future stuff; it's from stuff of the past up until this year, and it's very lucrative. Another stream of revenue. He owns it, and that's dope. And I think that will be able to open the door to other for other artists who may want to do this. He kind of set the standard, being the first to do it, and that's cool, man. I ain't mad at him. You work hard for that, creating that content and being an artist, and sorry, I yawned, and be able to keep all the assets. That is key. That is key. Up to $1 billion. That is dope. That's smart business. Keep it in the family, and just do what you got to do. That's cool, man. Man, that's just smart. He's smart, and people around him are smart. It's good strategy, good business, and everybody's happy. Everybody's making money, and his keeps his catalogs and publishing. He make money on it hand over fist. That is brilliant and smart. That's smart, and it's going to continue to get better with other artists and so forth. And he set the standard, man. He kind of kicked in the door, waving the 4-4, and getting his money. So that's dope. Kudos to him. That's dope, man. Sorry, I straighten this camera out. That is dope. I like hearing stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's smart. That's smart. Make that money. Y'all a little tired, my bad. All right, let's move on. What else? What else? Okay. Let me get this here. Judge overturns murder conviction and killing of Run-DMC's Jam Master Jay. Sorry, all these damn pop-ups. A judge this past Friday voided the conviction of one of the two men found guilty in the '02 killing of Run-DMC star Jam Master Jay, ruling that there wasn't enough evidence that the man had a motive to kill the hip-hop luminary. The reversal, which came as the judge upheld the other man's conviction, marked another stunning and confounding turn in one of the hip-hop's most elusive cases. It stymied investigators for nearly 2 decades before 2 arrests were made in 2020, and authorities, had held the 2024 convictions as finally getting justice for one of the rap pioneers. Jam Master Jay, born Jason Mizell, worked the turntables and Run-DMC as the group of hip hop gained mainstream popularity in the 1980s, with such hits as "It's Tricky" and a fresh take of Aerosmith "Walk This Way." His death followed the fatal shootings of Tupac Shakur in '96 and Notorious B.I.G. in '97, forming the skein of tragic violence that took the lives of some of rap's biggest talents. At the turn of the millennium, Mizell was 37. Nearly 2 years after the jury verdict in the case surrounding his death, the decision came from the same Brooklyn federal judge who presided over the trial. And Friday's ruling, U.S. District Judge LaShawn Darcy Hall granted Carl Jordan Jr. and acquitted on the murder charges, a request she had denied when his lawyers made it during the trial. An eyewitness testified that he saw Jordan shoot the DJ, his own godfather, in his Queens recording studios on October 3rd of 2002. At one time, tenant in Jordan's home also testified that he overheard Jordan admit to the killing, but during more than 18 months of the post-verdict presentations, Jordan lawyers argued that the evidence didn't support the prosecutor's claim, along with alleged motive revenge for a failed drug deal. Quote, "We are happy for Mr. Jordan and his family that justice was served," one of his attorneys, John Diaz, said in an email. Jordan had not yet been sentenced on the murder charges, but he remains behind bars awaiting trial on drug charges for many years after the killing. Prosecutors said they were reviewing the ruling. Separately, the judge denied co-defendant Ronald Washington's bid for an acquittal for a new trial. One of his lawyers, Suzanne Kellman, noted that he can pursue further appeals. Washington and Jordan were tried together, and witnesses testified that Washington blocked the door during the shooting and ordered one of the DJ's aides to get on the ground. But the judge concluded that the evidence about a drug beef motive was stronger against Washington than against Jordan. There was testimony that bad blood between Washington and Baltimore-based drug dealer torpedoed a potential 6-figure cocaine deal involving Jordan, Washington, and Mizell. A jury could reasonably infer that Washington was excluded from a potential lucrative Baltimore deal and sought to retaliate against Mizell for his exclusion, the judge wrote in the paper's release Friday. But asked from what evidence then could the jury have reasonably interfered that Jordan sought to retaliate against Mizell for the failure of the Baltimore deal? There were none. Run-DMC, the first rock group to notch gold and platinum albums to have a video and a rotation, MTV spoke out against drugs and lyrics at public service announcements and shows. But after the group peaked, Mizell got into debt and dabbled in as a cocaine market middleman, according to prosecutors and trial testimony. Neither Washington nor Jordan testified at the trial, where their defense rested largely on questioning key prosecution witnesses' credibility and their memories of long ago shooting. Washington's lawyers also questioned why he had any reason to kill an old friend who helped him financially. Mizell's sister even was letting the down on his luck Washington live on her couch. Jordan lawyers also urged jurors to consider third man Jay Bryant, who was charged in Mizell's killings in 23. Well after Jordan and Washington prosecutors have said Bryant's DNA was found on a hat at the shooting scene, and Bryant's uncle testified that his nephew told him he shot Mizell. Bryant has pleaded not guilty and is awaiting trial. Wow, this is crazy. It's really messed up that this thing's been going on 23 years now. You know what I mean? And they solve cases like this. It was somebody else, within a month. And the fact that it's blame game pointing, this guy did it, this guy did it, this person did it, it's ridiculous. It's messed up. I don't think we'll never know, unfortunately, who took the life of Jam Master Jay and why, and whether it's true or not he was dabbling in drugs. No one knows. It's hearsay and people making accusations and alleges and stuff like that. So it's messed up and it's sad that his family won't get the justice that they deserve. Who took away, Jam Master Jay? It's messed up. It's messed up. It's just too many, to my opinion, finger pointing, backdoor deals, loopholes, all types of stuff when it comes to this. So I don't know if we will ever know the truth, or if we ever, don't know the truth or capture the actual killer. I don't think we'll never know. I really don't think so. It's just too much of a hot mess. We still don't even know for sure, who killed Biggie and Pop. Well, according to 50 Cent in the documentary, it's Puffy, but, what are you going to do? Moving on. Let's see. Kadeem Hardison, Jasmine Guy, Cree Summer, and Daryl M. Bell to reprise roles in a Different World sequel series. Yes, again, Jasmine Guy, Gideon Hardison, Cree Summer, and Daryl M. Bell are coming back together for the Netflix spinoff series reprising their roles from the Mothership series. The quad will recur throughout the season. The single camera comedy will have 10 half-hour episodes from showrunner, executive producer Felicia Pride, Debbie Allen, who produced. Sorry, y'all. I keep getting a pop-up. Debbie Allen, who produced and directed and acted in the OG series, will executive produce and direct 3 episodes of the continuation, including the premiere. Pride and Allen share their excitement over the team coming back together for a new generation. A Different World is back. Yay, we are over the moon to bring this much anticipated sequel with our returning legacy stars Kadeem Hardison, Jasmine Guy, Cree Summer, and Darrell M. Bell. These beloved characters are returning in a major way that respects their history while engaging exciting storylines that are relevant to issues of today. They share in a joint statement. They continue throughout the season. Fans will have a chance to reunite with these OG characters and see how their lives have evolved into a different world. And as the story unfolds, there will be more cast surprises in store for longtime fans. We can't wait for lovers of the show to experience this new chapter and a real continuation of the legacy show. And we're excuse me, we're excited to welcome new audiences to Hillman. The series centers on Deborah Wayne, Malia Joy Moon, the youngest daughter of Hillman's college finest, Dwayne Wayne, which is Kadeem Hardison, and Whitney Gilbert, which is Jasmine Guy, as she enters her freshman year at the HBCU alma mater and finds the shadow of her parents difficult to escape. She sets out to build her own legacy while having the time of her life alongside a whole new generation of Hillman's best and brightest. Summer returns as Freddie Brooks and Bell as Ronaldus Johnson, as Whitney would call him. The new cast also includes bear with me with the names. Elijah Kai as Rashida Lord. Rashida Chabukakim Oche as wait a minute. It says the new cast. Excuse me. The new cast includes Elijah Kai as Rashida, Shabuka Kim Oche as Kojo, Cornell Young IV as Shaquille, Jordan Aaron Hall as Amir, and Kennedy Reese as Hazel. Netflix ordered a pilot back in March, followed by an order to the series last month. Deadline broke the news last August, read here on NYP Entertainment Radio, that a sequel series of Different World was in the work at the streamer. The show received a series order last month. The original A Different World is a spinoff of The Cosby Show, followed Denise Huxtable, which is Lisa Bonet, and her new classmate, Hillman College, a fictional historical black college. Though Lisa Bonet exited after one season, the show continued with the leading cast of Guy Hardison, Dawn Lewis, Bell, Sinbad, Chanel Brown, Cree Summer, and Glenn Thurman. The retooled second season continued to follow the student lives with the love story between guys Whitley Gilbert and Hardison Dwayne Wayne. In the center, Dwayne, famous for his glasses that flipped up. I used to love the flip up glasses. Finally put a ring on it in season 5 episode Save the Best for Last. The Different World sequel comes from Pride, Allen and Debbie Allen and Mandy Summers, Tom Warner, Gina Price Brythewood, and Reggie Brythewood. Alan Warner and Price Brythewood and Brythewood all worked in the original multi-camera series, which ran on NBC for 6 seasons, with Carsey Warner producing. Bill Cosby created both shows. Hardison, like I said, is back with Guy. And hopefully we can see Dawn Lewis and maybe Glenn Thurman. So who knows? Maybe Jada might come back. You never know. They got some surprises. If you remember, the final episode, which is called "When One Door Closes," Brittany found out she was pregnant. This is back in 92, 93. So which means they have 2 kids. The original child, though, when they went to Japan, to start the family, then there's the younger one starting college. So there's maybe their second, maybe their third child. We'll find out when it returns on Netflix. Excuse me. Now, I didn't give a date, so it might be sometime in 26. I am curious. Now, here's the thing. I gotta say this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I'm not sorry what I'm about to say. Because it's a African American school, do we really gotta give all the the characters black names. Shaquille, except for Hazel. Shaquille, Amir, Rashida, Kojo. I was like, really? Like, I get it, but I don't get it. Kind of spreading on a little thick about the Afro shit. You know what I mean? There's like, you can spread the names around, get a mixture of a Kojo. I get an Amir, put a Kyle, put a Damon, put a Derek, put a Robert. You know what I mean? I get it. You know, you got a Rashida, the stereotypical. You can put a Robin, you know, a Lisa, a Michelle, a Samantha. What's in the name? But I just like, God damn, like it's just, I get it, I get it. But you know me, when I read that, I'm like, really? Like I'm going kind of hard in the paint, and I guess y'all realize you went hard in the paint because you was like, yeah. So let's see, we got a Rashida, we got a Kojo, we got a Shaquille, we got an Amir. All right, yeah, we got a Hazel. I'm just saying, folks. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Yeah, y'all a little stirring the pot a little too tough on ethnicity shit. Ethnicity. Is that right? Right? Thank you. I'm just saying. You a little hard in the paint with that, with the Afro. I get it. I get it. I totally do. But still, Shaquille, really? Really? You might as well make Kojo into Kobe. You got Kobe and Shaquille. You might as well. You might as well. I'm sorry. You might as well. Anywho, I'll check it out. I'm not big on reboots or sequels years in general. Um, hopefully, I'll give it a chance. Maybe they'll do it right. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But, but I will give my opinion when it comes out by this time. Who is Kyle Graham will be up and running, and I'll give you my opinion on it there. Coming soon, spring of 2026. Who's Kyle Graham? I'll give my opinion on it because by then it might be out. By the time it come out sometime in 2026, I'll give my opinion. I'll watch it. I'll be fair. I'll watch I'll watch the season, and I'll give my opinion. I'll probably give my opinion after the first 2 episodes, and then if I don't like that shit, I'll shut it down. But I'll give my opinion on it. I'm not big on reboots and sequels, and certain things should not be touched. You know what I mean? It just shouldn't be. There's enough originality out there that you can actually do, but you want to kind of keep the nostalgia going, and I get that. I totally do. But definitely, I'll look into it. You know what they like? I remember on BET a couple of years back, they did which I think was never watched it, but I thought it was a horrible idea. They did like a Boomerang continuation movie, Boomerang with Eddie Murphy, back in the '90s, and they did it with his daughter and her friends, and it was just it looked like it sucked. It did. It just because you didn't have Eddie involved, you didn't have Martin, you didn't have none original cast, like whatever, and it was just sons and daughters of characters years later sometimes work. A lot of times it don't work because I always say it's not always the film or television show. Sometimes was a huge character that you can't get back is the era that different world was in. You can't recapture the '90s and what was going on there. So that's a big thing, the essence of it. What was happening at that time? I remember they tried to do New York Undercover. They was going to do that in the mid 2000s. No, not in the mid 2000s, the 2010s. And it never happened. Which I'm kind of glad they didn't, because what's interesting about that, and I always said one of the big things about New York Undercover, if you redid it, is it's the era. It's New York City. It's the '90s. Like that's a big character there. And things are different now. You try to do it in the 2010s or even now. Social media, you got to put that in and streaming and all that stuff. Phone cameras and shit. At that time, internet, the social media was big. It's still big. It was getting bigger and bigger. But the era of a different world, the era of Boomerang, New York Undercover, that's a huge part of the movie or TV show. What was going on at that time, the fashion, the look, the feel. And sometimes you can't just recreate that. Whether it's like, oh, the new vision, it's the second class, it's the new this, it's blah blah blah, and it's the kids, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. It depends how you mesh it together, and it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. People can watch it for nostalgia's sake, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to say it's going to be bad, but I'm not really feeling it, which is good. I go in underwhelmed. I watch it. I might end up liking it. I never know. But like I said, by the time it airs, I'll let you know who is Kyle Graham coming in spring of 2026. Okay. Last but not least, let me see here. I have something interesting. Steven Spielberg refused to work with Ben Affleck because of pool fight on a family vacation, the filmmaker claims. Mike Binder says he almost made a movie with Steven Spielberg, but claims the collaboration fell apart because of an alleged feud between Jaws filmmaker and Ben Affleck. Binder wrote and directed the 2006 film Man About Town, which starred Affleck as a Hollywood agent. However, the filmmaker said that he initially wrote the screenplay under the assumption that Spielberg was impressed with his prior film, The Upside of Anger, and would direct the project. He said, quote, "We got to do something together. I want you to write something for me," Binder said on another podcast I'm not going to name. Noting that the film was partially inspired by the home invasion scare at Spielberg's house. At the time, we both lived up in the Palisades, and we were talking about power and struggles, and also he was going through a thing where there was a guy who broke into his house late at night and was gonna find they found and it wait. He's late at night and they found notes. The guy was gonna electrocute Steven, beat him up, and it was just horrible. Binder said that the film was set to enter production at Spielberg's studio, DreamWorks, with E.T. filmmaker at the helm. However, the screenwriter said that Spielberg eventually backed out of directing, but wanted to keep the movie at DreamWorks with Binder as director. Binder then met Affleck, who wanted to work with him after seeing The Upside of Anger. Quote, we make a deal that he's gonna we make a deal that he's gonna do it. We shake hands, he'll do it, Binder said of meeting with Affleck to make Man About Town. However, Spielberg said that he wouldn't allow Affleck to be hired for the film. I call Steven. Steven says no, can't do it with him. We just bombed with a movie with him. He's got the whole J-Lo thing going on now, and I have other problems with him, Binder claimed. Binder said that Spielberg accused Affleck of fighting with his son on a family vacation while the Daredevil star was dating the filmmaker's goddaughter, Gwyneth Paltrow. My son was a little boy. He was playing in the pool. He got out of the pool, and Ben came in fully dressed, and my son pushed Ben in the pool, he recalls Spielberg telling him. And Ben got really mad at him. He came out of the pool and picked him up and threw him back in the pool and made my son cry. Binder didn't understand the relevance of the anecdote. I said, okay, what does this have to do with anything? He recalled. He said, I just don't like to work with him. Plus, his last two movies bombed. Find somebody else, anyone but him. He's cold as hell. He's cold as hell. I said, okay, Steven. Binder acquaintances so Binder told Affleck agent the bad news, and Goodwill Hunting Star. I'll get it out, y'all. Immediately knew what happened. Ben calls me up. He says, "Did Steven tell you I threw I threw his kid in the water? Is that what happened? Is that why I'm not in your? Is that why I'm not on your movie?" Binder remembered. I said, "No, he didn't say." "Yes, he did. He told you I threw his kid in the water. That's why I'm not on the movie." The filmmaker said that he still wanted to use Affleck in the lead role, so he told Spielberg his intentions, and the Raiders of the Lost Ark director didn't resist. But DreamWorks dropped the project the following day, and Binder took the project to a different distributor. Biden admitted that the movie was shitty under his direction, which led to the distributor. I said it right. Yeah, I might have messed up on that one. Lionsgate sending the movie directly to DVD, but he maintained that Affleck gave a quality performance. The filmmaker said that several years later he watched Affleck win Oscar for Best Actor for Argo in 2013 Academy Award. He beat Spielberg for Lincoln, and he's at the Academy Awards and they're hugging. And I text him, I'm watching on the air. I go, Ben, tonight you could throw Spielberg's whole family in the pool and get away with it. About an hour later, the phone rings. Affleck at the Academy where he goes, that made me laugh so fucking hard. Binder reflected on the takeaway from the saga, stating, I love both these guys and they're both smarter than me, but they both kind of acted like idiots, so did I. He said they were great guys, but at the same time, assholes. They were like everybody else. Steven Spielberg is a genius and a great guy, but he can be an asshole. And Ben Affleck is a great guy and can be a bigger asshole. Notice he didn't say that he was a genius. But by the same token, both of them can go, yeah, I can be an asshole. I love the fact that allegedly Ben Affleck threw his kid in the water like, hey, you want to push me in? I'm going to throw you in. Hey, listen, if you got, look here, little boy, if you got big balls to push a grown man in and think he's not going to touch you because your daddy Steven Spielberg, think again, this is the real world, son. So either Ben Affleck had that Boston come out of him and he was like, yeah, I'll put you right in the water. And he threw the kid right in there. Um, but it's interesting that after that pass, they hugged each other, high fived, and the whole nine. And the only person looking at that lost out was Mike Binder. So I love looking behind the scenes stories, and that's funny as hell about the kid thing. And he yelled, and Ben Affleck yelling at Binder like, "Yes, he did. He told you about that. I threw his kid in the water because he did. I probably would have did the same thing. Little kid laughing all snarky and entitled. Get your ass in the water too. You can cry. I don't care. You made my son cry. Your son never should have put his hands on me." I digress. But it's the real world, people. Status does not mean you can do whatever you want, no matter who you somebody, son, boyfriend, mom, whatever. You gonna throw somebody in the pool, you gonna throw in the pool. What they say? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And that little boy, that's something he'll never forget. But like I said, it seemed like the only person that lost in it was Mike Binder, who didn't get a chance to make his movie. Well, he made it, but not the way he wanted to make it. So what are you going to do? Funny behind the scenes stories. Love it. What I also love is you joining me today. And hopefully I got your mind off your problems, whatever you're going through as we go into the holiday season. Happy holidays to everyone. We're going towards, Christmas and Kwanzaa and happy Hanukkah. And we marching strong to the new year. And like I said, final show ever, NY Entertainment Radio, is New Year's Day, January 1st, 2026. That is it. However, spring of 2026, new show. Who is Kyle Graham? YouTube, Riverside, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, video and audio. Coming soon with a few surprises I'm working on as I'm putting the show together. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, nervous, sad at the same time as one book closes, another one's opening, and I'm looking forward to that. And then saying goodbye to the past, say hello to the future, and you guys coming with me. It's gonna be a hell of a ride. I'm not done. I'm not done. I got a lot of more work to do with this show and other things. I want you to go on this ride with me. Nothing stops your dream, no matter how old you are, no matter how long it takes. You keep going. Don't let no one talk you out of what you want to do. Don't say, oh, you're too old, or you're too this. Nah, you got lungs. You got breath in your lungs. Let me get that correct. Breath in your lungs, you walking above ground. You might get tripped up by life, a little bit of health issues, but you stay the course. You fight it. You go against the negativity. It's like, oh, I thought he said he or she was going to be this and he's not that. I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep going. I still have my dreams and admiration. Nothing's going to stop. I didn't stop doing this show because somebody left and disappeared. I kept this going. Did I want to? Yeah, I did. But I kept it going because I love what I do. I love the show. I love the audience. Closing it, it means there's other things I wanted to do. And I'm still kind of continuing it under my own vision and creating it. I tipped my cap to the other person who co-created the show. And I kept it going. But it was just to shake that off and get and move on from that. We got to blow it up to rebuild something new. Then I will have to do that. And I'm looking forward to that. This journey is going to be fun, and I want you to come with me on it. Not what just this, but my book, not a perfect man, but a good man. All that stuff. The dream is still alive. It keeps going. I'm above ground. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here to talking to you. And Lord willing, I'll see you to the second of the last show coming up. Man, everyone's going to be a good year. And again, whatever you're going through, stay positive. That goes for me too. I got to keep reminding myself that. Believe whatever power you believe in. Stay in faith. Take it day by day. Take your steps. Keep positive people around you. Do what you got to do. All right? Lord willing, I will see you on the next episode. Not the last, but second to the last episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio. Press the subscribe button. Get the notification for the final 2 shows. And of course, I'll keep you posted on who is Kyle Graham coming to you in 2026. And that's it. Everyone, have a great holiday. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Lord willing, I'll see you soon. Be safe in your travels. Enjoy yourself. Love on your loved ones, family, and friends. Appreciate them. You haven't told them you love them, tell them. Hug them. Say everything you need to say, because tomorrow's not promised. All right? That's it. Ran my jibs enough. Peace out to the nation. Stay rugged and rough. It's a Charcoal Quest line. All right. I'm out. Everyone, be safe. NYP Entertainment Radio. Who's Kyle Graham 2026? I'm excited. That is it. I'm done. Peace.